guys, and welcome back to my channel. So y'all would have guessed it from the title that today's video is dedicated to all my overthinking friends out there. And being an overthinker myself, I can totally relate to the fact that the struggle is real. I know there are a lot of people who say, "Arey to itna kyun soch rahi hai yaar? Matlab, don't think so much, don't worry too much, just relax, just chill." Trust me guys, we want to relax, we want to chill, we do not want to think about things. But there are times where things just get so overwhelming that you feel that you don't have things in your control, and it just gets difficult. Especially this year, I feel we all have become overthinkers, right? We've been thinking about our finances, about our careers, about our relationships, and life in general, basically. So being an overthinker all my life, I never really thought I can get out of it. I thought I'm stuck with it like forever. But this year, life taught me a lot of new things, and one of those things was on how I can control that feeling of overthinking. And it has really helped me to a great deal, guys. I can see the difference on how I used to handle situations earlier versus how I'm handling right now. I wouldn't say that I'm 100% there yet. Obviously, it's a process and it takes time. It's not like I have just nailed it, now I don't overthink anymore. No, but it's just better than what it used to be. So I thought, why not share it across with all you wonderful people, so that it can help some of you all out there who are probably going through the same situation like me. So what happens is, basically, when we overthink, you just are doing your regular activity, or you're just going about with your day, and then suddenly there's one thought that comes into your mind, and before you kind of realize, it's kind of built into another thought, and then there's a connecting thought, and the process just keeps going until you've probably reached the worst possible conclusion, and you assume the worst to kind of happen. So let's imagine overthinking like walking on this cliff. All right, so each thought that you kind of have is taking you closer to the edge of the cliff, and the more you think, the more you're kind of just getting into that zone where you know that, okay, now if I fall off the cliff, I'm gonna hit rock bottom, and that's it for me. That's just going to take me to that zone where I will be more anxious, where I might just start panicking, and you start taking impulsive decisions which we do not want to do, because those decisions are never really good for us, right? So the best thing to do is, whatever you have to change has to be done while you're still on that cliff, all right? While those initial thoughts are kind of forming. Now, no matter how much you tell that, I don't really know when these thoughts are coming in, I don't really know how to handle them, I just start overthinking. I know, I've been there, I've done that. So I know that it happens, but come on guys, we do know that there is this one thought that is playing on in our mind. We know that this thought is making us sad, making us low, is mentally exhausting us, and is definitely not bringing us any good. As soon as you realize that, okay, this thought is really not bringing me happiness, it's kind of taking away that joy in my life. As soon as you realize that, you need to take 3 deep breaths. Okay guys, I can't tell you the importance of how much these deep breaths can actually calm yourself down. Every time you inhale, just tell it to yourself out loud or in your mind that you're just breathing in everything that's positive, everything that's good for you. And every time you exhale, just tell that you're just giving out everything that you have no control on, that is just kind of making you sad, and you're just breathing out everything that's negative around you. It really calms you down to that certain extent, and this is the time where you ask yourself this question: is the situation that I'm thinking about in my control or not? Okay, now if the answer to that is yes, then excellent. Okay, you can then think about how you can work it in your favor, or how it can be done better for you. However, if the answer is no, that's when you need to take another step behind. And most of the times when we overthink, I think those are the situations that we do not have in control, right? We rarely overthink about the ones that we can control. So as soon as you realize it's not in your hands, you cannot do anything about it, take another step back. Now what do we do after we take a step back? Okay, I think all these years of our lives, some of us, or maybe most of us, have let our mind control us. Okay, whereas it should be the other way around. You are supposed to control your mind. Okay guys, your mind is like a child, it's like a baby, and that makes you, my darling friends, its parent, right? So being a parent, you are supposed to discipline your child, you are supposed to make it obedient, you are supposed to make it the most amazing child, because you cannot really expect the child to know what's right and what's wrong. So if your child sees like a dirty, mucky water and says that, you know what, I want to go and jump into it and play into it, are you going to let your child do that? No, right? Because you know that it is wrong, it is bad. The child may find it exciting, may find it engaging, may find it very interesting, because they do not know whether it's good or bad. They will just jump into it and play around with it. But you are supposed to redirect your child into the right direction. You are supposed to tell them that, no, you know what? I know that you're finding that really fun, but there is something more wonderful for you. Parent, you need to take that responsibility on to kind of teach your child what is good and what's bad. It's like basically if your child is crying in a toy store, you know, saying that they want this a particular toy which you know is not good for them or probably just not worth its price, you're not just going to give in to their tantrums, right? Because that is not the right thing to do. What would you do instead? You would probably convince them and engage them into another thing. You would bribe them with a chocolate, or probably you would tell them that there is another amazing toy that you saw in another store that you can buy them. Or else you will probably tell them that I'm going to take you out on Saturday, you know, to the park, and you can enjoy out there. So that's what we need to do with our mind child as well. Okay, we need to divert its attention to something more interesting, to something more engaging, and to something more worthwhile. Okay, which is not just going to be amazing for the brain and for the mind, but it's going to be amazing for your overall well-being, right? So this happened with me. There was a situation that I was in, and I was totally overthinking about it for no reason at all. And at that time I was reading this book by Sidney Sheldon, and I was in these thoughts of overthinking, and I just thought, forget it, I'll just start reading. I know I'm not going to like reading when I'm thinking about it, but anyway, there's nothing much to do. And 15-20 minutes into that book, I suddenly forgot about the situation that I was in, and I was trying to solve a murder mystery, you know. And at the end of the day, I was totally amazed at the fact that I could do that. I did not think about that situation the whole day, and I was completely fine with it. In fact, I was happy. I was happy that I had something different to do. So I'm not saying that reading is the way out. Obviously, it's your child. You would know what interests your child. You know, it can be different for everyone, right? If it's reading for me, it can be watching a movie for you, talking to a friend, or it can be anything that interests you. Each child is different. So there is no fixed recipe or a formula that you try this thing and you're not going to overthink. The main ingredient is your mind, okay? The spices that you add on is as per your taste. But ultimately, what's important is you understand that you are the master of your mind. You can control your mind, and it shouldn't be the other way around. Alright, so it's not an easy task. It's a daily process. It's a process through which you learn. You may not succeed initially, but it is worth the effort. So I would suggest try it. Just because it's not helping a couple of times, don't give up. Believe that you can control your thoughts. Trust in yourself. Trust that you can be an amazing parent. And when you start treating your mind like a child, you will look at things in a different way. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful. Alright, do let me know what are your tips and tricks while you all overthink. Is there a particular mantra that you follow? And yeah, looking forward to hear from you all, because I would need some new formulas as well, which can probably help me out. So yeah, I will see you all again next week, guys. Until then, spread love, spread positivity, and be kind. And I love you all. Bye.